Welcome to the 37th Annual Day of the Dead celebration at Mission Cultural Center for Latino Arts. The theme for 2023 is Tree of Life, Roots and Memory, Árbol de Vida, Raíces y Memoria. Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life and death. The celebration allows us to reflect on the cycle of life and death, giving thanks and celebrating the memory of our loved ones, keeping them alive in our hearts through colorful ofrendas that highlight the beauty and rich traditions of Latin America. It is in our remembrance of the loved ones that we reunite with the ancestors, and they live forever in our hearts and minds. Mission Cultural Center for Latino Arts brings together local artists, fashion designers, musicians, poets, chefs, organizations, businesses, and most importantly, local families to celebrate this beautiful tradition that blends Mesoamerican rituals and the colonial influences reflected in the spirituality and living art traditions that are present in Latin America. With this year's theme, Árbol de Vida, Raíces y Memoria, Tree of Life, Roots and Memory, Mission Cultural Center for Latino Arts celebrates the tradition that honors the ancestors who have crossed over to a better life. A tradition that started in Mexico and is practiced by many indigenous people in Latin America. The community gathers to honor the memory of the dearly departed and celebrates the cycle of life and death. This year's celebration will include an art exhibit featuring Mesoamerican, colonial, post-colonial, modern, and contemporary altar installations, art, photography, and sculpture. Mission Cultural Center honors the many trees that we lost in the community during the storms of this past year. We are also strengthening Mission Cultural Center for Latino Arts roots as we prepare to temporarily relocate due to seismic retrofitting and repairs. Altar elements are the items that are placed on altars. Dia de los Muertos is traditionally observed over 2 days and encompasses 3 events: Dia de los Angelitos, spirits of the children; Dia de los Difuntos, spirits of the adults; and Dia de los Muertos, spirits of all the dead. During each event, it is believed that the spirits of the deceased return to be reunited with their living visitors and celebrate. To welcome those spirits, the living create ofrendas, or altars, with items representative of the deceased person's favorite foods and activities, as well as items to help the spirit on their journey. There are 3 types of altars that are common. Mesoamerican altars were part of the indigenous rituals that honored the dead. In Mexico, the Aztecs built the altars on the ground, connecting them to Mother Earth. The elements found in a Mesoamerican altar are organic, representing the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. Earth represents Mother Earth that gives us life. Wind represents spirit. Fire represents the light that guides us, and water represents life. There is also an incense burner and artifacts that are connected or represent those that have departed. After the colonization by the Spaniards of what is now known as Mexico, the Spaniards introduced their cultural traditions and Catholicism. The influence of the Catholic Church on the rituals to honor the dead are represented by colonial altars, which are generally 3 tiers. The altars represent the 3 planes of existence: sky, earth, and the underworld. The marigolds, those bold orange flowers, are sometimes called Flor de Muerto, or flowers of the dead. Their scent helps to attract the souls to the altar. Photos of the deceased draw their spirit to the altar, as do personal items that were important during their lives on earth. During the month of October, Mission District Panaderias are busy baking special Day of the Dead bread in the shape of bones and skulls. It is traditional to include pan de muerto along with the deceased favorite foods to nourish their spirit upon return to the land of the living. Water is placed on the altar to quench their thirst after a long journey. Candlelight illuminates the path home for the returning spirits. Copal incense burner, derived from the copal tree, symbolizes the transformation from the physical wood shavings or shards into the metaphysical perfume smoke. It serves to purify the spirits and elevate the prayers of the living. Contemporary altar installations vary. Some are inspired by traditional Day of the Dead altars and include some traditional elements as well as personal artistic representations. Others are visual art representations intended to honor the memory of the deceased. In the Bay Area, these installations are offerings for our ancestors. Honor your loved ones. Please take a moment to honor your own friends, family, and community members who have passed on by adding their name to the public altar that is on display in the gallery. Write their name on the piece of paper and place it on the display and include them in this community collective ofrenda. We would like to ask our guests to follow some guidelines to respect the altars that are on display and our facility. We ask that you observe the following rules. No running, no touching the altars or any of the elements that are placed on the altars. Only limit touching the walls if you are in the community altar space where you are invited to write the name of your loved one and place that object on the altar. Please keep your voices down. This is a space that honors our loved ones in a respectful way. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask our tour guide. At the end of this exhibit, we hope that you will be able to identify the different types of altars and ofrendas that are created by loved ones to honor the memory of the deceased. And remember, a person only dies when we forget them. Let's continue to celebrate life and give life every year, every day, by honoring the memory of those who have passed and by living our best life.
Google Studio.
In the beginning, there was the void, and a duality of being flowered from darkness to set the world ablaze. When a sacrifice was made and a half-light was born, the gods made an attempt to reach out for life but grew too tall. But who would take the ground? Their claws were too sharp, and there was nowhere to run.
No good can come from this.
Another took the throne, and flesh and bone sprang up from the ground. Then a shadow crossed their hearts, a mockery to the gods, a blasphemy, a wind of destruction.
They were human after all.
Water became salvation, but it couldn't wash out the grief of a stolen love. And though he cried and others did too, the world was kept dry with the god's wrath. Fire came to help forget.
Foolish are those who give everything for love.
Thus the time came for a change of plans, when a goddess arose to shine upon all. But the others wouldn't take it. They said it was a joke. And in an act of cowardness, they shoot her out of the sky. In the end, it was funny. What they should have known is that she wasn't going to leave without drowning them too.
Down with the patriarchy.
Our time began with a hero and the jealousy of a brother and two bright lights, one soon to belong to the night. The gods weren't satisfied. They knew their son was weak, so they gave it their blood to drink. And now travels the skies from east to west. There is a trick in it though, and we can only hope the earth will remember it yet.
We are nothing but dust.
In the beginning there was the void, a duality in the world. The suns have prevailed and so has the blood. But how long will it take for us to finally take the sun down with a machine gun?